question, and first of all we need to calculate the bill for this. Okay, so the question says a householder is charged for gas that uses in the following way: standing charge, which doesn't change, you have to pay that no matter how much units you use every month. Now, reducing rate for the terms used, right? So terms is if you use 0 to 20, terms are like units, right? If you use 0 to 20 units, you pay €1.40 for each one. If you use 21 to 40, you use €1.26. Over 40 terms is 106 per term. Calculate the householder's bill for a period in which he uses 54 terms and a VAT of 12.5% or 12.5%. So here's what we do. We break up 54 terms, okay? And we're going to find out what this equals. 54 terms equals the first 20 terms plus the next 20 terms as well, yeah? Which is 21 to 40. So there's 20 of these, and how many are left then? 20 plus 20 plus 14. So there's 14 terms at the end. Now we got to calculate their values, okay? So let's calculate what is the total value of each of all them put together. Okay, so the first one we'll do in green is 20 multiplied by €1.40. The second one is going to be plus 20 times 126. The third one is going to be 14 multiplied by 1.06. So everybody just enter that into your calculator exactly as it looks. So remember to use brackets, okay, and add them all together. Close bracket, and what you'll get there is it'll be €68 and €68.04. Is everybody agreed? Now, the standing charge hasn't been added. Do we do the VAT before or after the standing charge? Huh? In the example, we do the standing charge before the VAT. So standing charge gets added on. So what's the standing charge? Standing charge, anybody? €26.30. Add them on. What do we get now? We get €94.30. 34 cents. How much percent is that, guys? That's 100% of the cost, yeah? What do we have to do now? We have to add on the VAT. So we're going to add on the VAT. And to add on the VAT, if you go back to the question, it says calculate the householder's bill for a period in which he uses 54 terms and VAT at 12.5. So let's find out what 1% is. To get 1%, you divide by 100. So you divide both sides by 100. And what you're going to get is 94.34 divided by 100. That's going to get you €0.9434. Now we're going to multiply this by 112.5. You're going to multiply by 112.5 to get to 112.5%. And that's the total bill. Multiply by 112.5. And it comes out at €106.13 and 25. We got to round this down to 2 decimal places. So it's going to be 116.13. Alright guys, this question is quite tough. Now if you imagine a journey, okay, and the journey is like in a straight line, what always happens is you have a straight line, and after 80 kilometers into your journey, 80 kilometers, you calculate how much 80 kilometers cost you, okay? So to find out how much 80 kilometers cost you, you multiply 80 by 0.68, okay? So 80 multiplied by 0.68, 80 kilometers cost you 54 quid 40 cents. Now, in the first question, we're not doing 80 kilometers, we're doing 135 kilometers. 135 minus 80 means that you're going 55 kilometers longer than 80. So you're going an extra 55 kilometers. We're going to put the 55 kilometers in blue. So you're doing 55 extra kilometers. And what you're going to do is you're going to multiply 55 by 42 cents. 55 multiplied by 42 cents. And what you're going to get here is €23.10. Okay. Now all so you got to do is add them together, and you get €77.50. Okay. How many people got that? Okay. Well done. Decent amount of people. Okay. Now the next journey is actually done in the exact same way. Okay. It's done in the exact same way. Now, I always tend to use algebra to do this, okay? So, instead of 55 kilometers, okay? I don't know, nobody knows how far we've gone. The one thing you can be certain of, how do I know for certain we went over 80 kilometers? How do I know we went over 80 kilometers? Exactly. The full journey cost me more than 54.4. This means that I most certainly went over 80 kilometers, okay? Now, I don't know how much longer we went. I really don't. So I'm going to call this X, okay? And how I do this is I say, okay, I multiply, actually I won't call it X because X will get mixed up with the multiplication sign. I'll call it Y, okay? Y, a distance y kilometers. Okay, what we do is we multiply y by what you multiply every kilometer by over 88 by 0.42. Y multiplied by 0.42 is 0.42 y. If I add the two of these together, what's my total bill? My total bill is 109.08. Do you got it? All I got to do now is get y on its own. So the way most people will describe how to do this, and I'm pretty certain Brian would have described me to do this, he would have said get 109.8, take away 54.4. That's exactly what I'm doing. Bring over the 54.4 and take it away. Then you get... Sorry, who's got it? €64.68. And then you have to divide that by, so you get on my algebra one, you get 0.42y equals 64.68 cents. I tell you to bring the 0.42 down and divide by 42 cents. Okay? And that's actually what we're doing on the other way as well. We're going to divide it by 0.42. Divide 64.68 by 0.42 and you get is 154 kilometers. So y equals 154 kilometers and e equals 154 kilometers here. Remember, you went 154 kilometers more than 80. So add on 80 at the end and you get 234 kilometers, and this one here is 234 kilometers. Okay? And